Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Aeon card. And it is also the full moon tonight. Full moon in Scorpio. My goodness. All right. So if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. We're fully in Taurus season. So happy birthday to all of you Tauruses. Solar Tauruses, I should say. Okay, so let's start down here. Now it looks like we have a dog. It is ridiculous sometimes how just like perfect these formations come out from the tea. We have, it looks like this dog here with it. Here are the eyes, the nose. It looks like it has like a collar on. It has its little ears right here. And it does look like it is kind of ornery. Maybe like a little bit of, I don't know, like a grimace on its face or whatever is going on here. Now over here, I see we have, it looks like a person here wearing a hat, maybe some glasses, kind of bent over forward. Almost kind of looks like the body of a turkey, the head of a person, the legs of a person. And then I imagine holding up, it looks like a phone or maybe like a magnifying glass. And I'm thinking, okay, this is like, it makes me think of like filming something with your phone. This reminds me of myself looking at plants and bugs and stuff and trying to take pictures with them. So I want to look at these two. I almost feel like we have, with the dog, right? We have maybe a good friend. I know it's kind of like, why do you always relate good friends with the dogs? And we know dogs are man's best friend. But also symbolically, this is a person who is very loyal to you. This is a person who loves you through and through. You absolutely are each other's best buds, you know. Just excited to see each other, have been in each other's lives for, you know, maybe years. But there is a real sense of this, a pack, right? Being part of this kind of really deep union, bond, friendship. And so I look at this and it really kind of makes me feel like it's like a good friend who is pretty annoyed about something. And when I first like looked at it, I immediately had this feeling of having a friend who is almost kind of, you have somebody else in your life, another friend. Maybe it's a relationship that you're in, a romantic relationship. But this friend does not like that person. They don't think very highly of them. And I don't think that this is like jealousy, just like somebody you know, talking down this other friend you have because they're jealous that you're friends, you know. We're all adults here. Hopefully that's not how our friends are behaving any longer, right? That makes sense if you're a teenager, but as you get older, it's like, okay, we have room in our life for at least, you know, 2 friends. So, but I just think that they see this person in your life kind of for what they are. And you seem to have some kind of real attraction bond. You're wearing rose-colored lenses with this person, and your friend sees it and they let you know. They'll tell you, like, they're not good for you. They're, you know, not to be trusted. Maybe they're running their mouths. Maybe there's somebody who has a like shady life going on, or you know, like somebody who's always talking bad about other people. And so it's like, yeah, obviously they're out there like talking bad about you as well, you know, whatever it is, but you've taken a liking to this person and your friend doesn't like it. I mean, doesn't like the person, not the, yeah. So, I feel like this is something that, I don't know, maybe like it's in one ear and out the other. And especially if this is a romantic relationship and you might even be getting kind of serious with this person, it seems like it could be something that might be detrimental to your friendship with your really good pal, because, you know, we know how it goes. It doesn't matter if you've been best friends, you know, half your life. If that friend comes and tells you, like, hey, your partner is cheating on you, or, you know, something like that, and if it's true or not, some part of the blame is upon the messenger. And even if we look at it and we say, I'm glad that you told me, you know, I needed to know, but there's still just an energy there. It's like they saw it and they witnessed it, or in some way they witnessed something weird going on, and they bring it to you, and you know, it's hard to take that kind of information, and it's hard not to kind of, I don't know, put it on the person that kind of brought it to you a little bit. So it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem good for them, right? Now, I don't know about this other friend at all. Maybe we'll see about it, but I think it's important to keep your mind open, right? Try to remind yourself, this is somebody who is looking out for me. Hopefully they're not moving from a place of jealousy, or, you know, just don't like that person. They have it out for them, but I don't think so. I think there's genuinely concern here. And so, I think it's important to keep in mind what their, you know, motivations are. Why? Because they love you, because they care about you, because they see something that maybe you don't. And yes. Okay, so let's take a look at this person with the phone. Now, I almost kind of wonder, this is a weird one. It almost kind of feels like somebody in the family. Maybe this is, I almost feel like this is such a weird and specific. I almost feel like this is maybe like brother or dad. Possibly, maybe uncle, but I feel like somebody in the family, male family member, seems to be on their phone getting in trouble. okay? And it feels like, almost like they're getting caught, like, I don't know, flirting online, or maybe like, I don't know, spending like money on spicy websites, if you know what I mean, and getting caught, like, you know, maybe by their spouse, or I don't know. So it feels like it's something where they maybe are not great with the internet, maybe don't understand that they're not covering their tracks too well, or maybe they have been, right? And they are getting caught doing some things that they're not supposed to be doing, and it feels like infidelity, but maybe it's not all that serious. But it could, I think it's centered around maybe like financial and also just time, like obsession, like an obsession almost. And so I think this is like a weird thing within the family. Now, I want to say, this is something that it feels embarrassing, especially if it like kind of spreads throughout, you know, the family, and people around the family know a little bit about it or whatever. But this is like something that's happening all the time. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that it's okay, but I'm saying that this happens in a lot of families. It happens with a lot of different kinds of people. And you think, oh, it's probably a young person. But if you've ever even been on Facebook or any social media like that, where you have your family and stuff on there, and you accidentally start seeing like family members commenting on like thirst trap type of content, like things that are obviously like bots or AI or whatever, and then you start to see like, oh my gosh, like my uncle is on there, you know, saying some pretty wild stuff, or, you know, and it happens. It's not anything like, it's not a rarity, unfortunately. And I'm just laughing because it's just, I don't know, it's uncomfortable, right? It's uncomfortable. And, but I almost feel like, and I'm seeing the glasses, I feel like it's the sense of like, kind of, thinking that they really are incognito, like they are, getting away with this thing and nobody knows, but it's like, so, you know, it's obvious, we see it, the family kind of is hearing about it, and, you know, maybe it's going to be something that becomes a bit of a, you know, family scandal to some degree. And I don't know what to say about this really exactly, besides, you know, it just, it's amazing the stuff that goes on in families. You never realize, because people are so good at like curating an image for their life, for their family. We've all kind of been crash course, you know, educated about how to, for the most part, present ourselves online. And especially if you are like in my generation, millennial, I'm an old millennial, supposedly. I always thought I was like, I didn't know what I was, because I was in Generation X for sure. My older cousins were, and I thought they were so cool. So cool. And, but I was like a little younger than that. So, then I found out not even that long ago, a few years ago, I'm like, oh, I'm a millennial. I remember when people used to make fun of millennials and like, yeah, those millennials, but apparently I am one. So, you know, if you are my generation and younger, for sure, yes. I don't know. I forgot what I was relating that to. But yes, it just absolutely, it's, you know, so many things on the interwebs, you know, to get yourself into. And so, you know, it just, it's not surprising. It's surprising. Maybe, oh yes, just people, that's what it was, curating your life. Okay, so my generation younger, so good at it because we're like, well, I was raised from, you know, whatever, 12 on with the internet, or at least having it in the home. And even though a lot of people, like even when I was in high school, weren't good with the internet, but it absolutely blows your mind how we just know kind of, we've been conditioned into kind of curating the content that we put out, the way that we take pictures, you know, the kinds of events we have so that we can take pictures. I mean, how do you know anybody who's done, like they have parties just so that they can have these, like, you know, places within the party to make sure that they get good pictures so they can go on like Instagram or whatever, make YouTube videos and everything else. And I'm not talking bad about it, but it's just, it's something that I think it's kind of cool in that, like, everybody is kind of an artist now, a designer, you know, filmographer, or, you know, whatever, but it just, it's a photographer. Yes, there we go. And, yeah, there's a lot of like artistic qualities in a lot of it, even if we, you know, look at it from a cynical point of view and kind of poo-poo it or whatever. But yes, I don't know. So it's, anyways, I think that there is definitely, I don't know. I hope that this is, you know, something that's not too much of a, you know, like a big drama within the family, because it can be, absolutely. You've seen people's marriages fall apart because of these kinds of things. I actually just, well, no, I shouldn't say. I'm not going to say. There was somebody I know. I'm just going to, somebody I know from like high school that just got divorced. And that's what, I guess, the whole part of the story is, that it was one of those, like, those sites where you pay, you know, to like whatever. So, yeah, and that's sad. And now I'm gossiping. I just did a reading about how I shouldn't be gossiping anymore. All right, let's get off of this topic. So we have this kind of really pretty, now we have a crucifix over here. We have a crucifix almost kind of right here too. And I see an angel, and two people. And I kind of just imagine, now this doesn't have to be, it does not have to be that you have any kind of Christian affiliation or, you know, or a practitioner. But I just feel like there's this sense of revelation here. And I don't mean it, and again, it doesn't even have to be like an Abrahamic religion at all. But there's a sense of really having a moment of just absolute, it's clarity, but it's not just that. It is inspiration. It is a sense of really, it's like deja vu, kind of. It's almost kind of glitchy. Like there's a glitch in the matrix in this moment. And all of a sudden I became quite aware of it, right? And you kind of look around and it's like I have this view from far, you know, far off, and I'm looking at everything and I'm seeing how it all kind of connects in a way that helps me move forward into my next cycle, right? And I definitely vibing with that Aeon card. I mean, it's definitely a sense of being able to look at what is happening, what is the state of things in this moment here, and how should I chart my course? How do I add to this path that I'm on? You know, how do I honor it? How do I remain devoted to? How do I immerse myself in? How do I stay focused? And you look and you look at your life and you look at the things and all of these moving factors, variables, and it just seems so clear. It's simple. You know, and these are those moments, these God moments, as we call them. Now, again, you don't have to believe in God or goddess or, you know, some divine intelligence or anything like that. But we all know this feeling of an opening. There's an unfurling. There is a movement of action within self. And so I look at this and it feels like being in a garden of wonder, of awe, to be standing there bearing witness to a cosmic vision, a cosmic vision. And I feel like this is something that you pray for. You strive to live your life in such a way that helps you on this path. And you do it in earnest. It isn't for show. This is not a put on for you. This isn't, another costume to wear. This is where you go in those quiet moments. Everything else, aside from beloved family and chosen, alliances in this life, nothing else matters, right? Everything else is a put on, except for those relationships and this divine work. And yeah, so I do. I feel just this real kind of elevation of thinking. And having access to these parts of your being more so than you have in a long time. Because I think so often it feels so fleeting for you. You have a few days with it and you're sitting and you're daydreaming and you're writing and you're, reading books and singing songs and meditating and all of the things that seem like, this is what one does when they're on the spiritual path. And it helps. It opens up the doors for you, the doors to perception. And then, it inevitably kind of dissipates and you go back to the norm. And this time it feels like something that is more of a shift in lifestyle than it is some kind of, desperate momentary grab, as we think about, going on some kind of, and it's become such a taboo word, but going on some kind of diet versus like integrating a way of, consuming into your life. Instead of, I'm going to do this for this certain amount of time, changing the whole structure for long term. And these are two different ways to do it. I don't know which one's right or wrong. Maybe they're both right. Maybe they're both wrong. I don't know. But they're different things. They are. And so this is a shift in your life. This is a shift in your living. Now we have a dove here. So I do feel like a sense of peace coming with it, with this revelation. I see a moonflower. I feel the delirium, the visions, the dreams. I see a person sitting and witnessing, again, the daydreams, the dreams, the visions coming through. And we have a crab. So the crab for me absolutely says, make sure that you are fortifying yourself. Make sure that you are practicing psychic self-defense, okay? Taking care of your emotional, mental, and psychic well-being. All of these things are really important when you are going through a time of, you know, spiritual downloads. And so you have to take care of yourself, because you can get lost so easily. And we've seen many people, especially in the spiritual realm, or, you know, industry realm, people in the occult, magic, even, you know, religious movements and practitioners. People can lose their grounding. You know, and maybe they want to, I don't know, but sometimes it really becomes quite destructive. And so we must upkeep those lower functions, the material functions, the functions of our routines, making sure we get enough sleep, that we're eating well, whatever that means to you individually. You know, intentional movement. You know, whatever it is, getting good sleep, sticking to the routines, doing the things you need to do. You know, so we have to make sure that our mundane life is in good order so that we can do the higher work. And again, that's individual to each of us. So there's no real wrong or right way. But you will know when you are doing it in a way that is helpful for you, right? Okay, let's see. We have a heart, we have a mushroom, we have a scorpion. Okay, so how about Scorpion? I wonder if you're in love with a Scorpio. Taurus and Scorpio, what a match. My goodness. If you have a Scorpio person that you are romantically involved with, or, you know, maybe it's somebody like a parent or one of your children, somebody you're very close to. What is that like? I want to know. What is that like? So we do have, I feel like there's a sense of, with the mushroom, I think of the pervasive fungi of the earth, right? It's everywhere. And the consciousness each one of them has flowing through it. And yes, I was just talking about animism the other day in one of my other readings. And so really like kind of experiencing these what we consider plants or fungi as having, a consciousness. And you see this a lot in like plant medicine they're not users, but partakers. And they're, if you just go listen to Terrence McKenna. I'm always going to promote him. Absolutely love. One of the first occultist mystics that I ever, knew about or was into. So these consciousness carriers, or maybe they are themselves, I don't know, but I feel like when I see them in my readings, I'm like, okay, so you're like really aligned with the ecosystem around you. You have a good relationship with the backyard spirits, is like what I like to call them. Because I have this real kind of superstitious belief that, you know, when we are honoring the plants, animals, minerals, waterways in our vicinity, right? And we're in good standing with them, not at war with them, then our lives are blessed. I mean, they watch out for us. And you witness the blessings. There's a different feeling of being in a place that you're absolutely trying to contain its natural form, its natural state, you know, always trying to kind of mold it into something, and also trying to keep things out, like, you know, I mean, of course, if it's like squirrels in the attic, I understand that. Don't let them in. But you know, when we really go out of our way to try to stop things from happening the way that they're going to happen, it really throws our life into a perceivable chaos. And so I look at this and I think you're in a place where you are part of this ecosystem. You are looked after, you are blessed, you bless the area that you live in. I wonder if you have like you plant flowers for pollinators and maybe feed the birds or make sure there's water for the animals going through, and you know, taking care with the trees and native plants and things like that. It is. And I'm not just like some hippie lady. I'm not, I wouldn't consider myself that at all. But I really feel that these beings, they look out for us and we look out for them, and there is a beautiful marriage there. And so, yeah, I feel like you definitely have the vibe. You know the vibe. You know what's going on. And there's so much love, and there is a flow of energy. So I feel like they show up for you. Definitely. Scorpio person. I don't know. A love interest. That's all I can think is there's a Scorpio love interest. But it could be, you know, somebody close to you. Like I said, it could be like a mom or your child. But I'm just interested in that dynamic. What is that like? All right. Let's put you in there too. Okay. I was going to say, okie dokie. My goodness. All right, let's see. Wild Bohemian affirmation cards. This is the fire element deck. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead and flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. Okay. And it says, I am here. Allow yourself to be taught by love. Be fluent in nature's language. Be fluent in nature's language. All right. I hear TT coming back. I raised my voice a little bit and she's like, oh, poor TT. She'll be ready to come back into the studio soon. I just have to make sure that I have to get comfortable in here before I start letting the cats in. I'll listen to her. She's like, she heard her name. I'm going to go pet her after this. Give her some love. But I have to get comfortable in here first of all. Yes, a Taurus. I thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I love you, and I thank you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. you can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I would love to hear from you. And I'm gonna go love on that cat. I have some more readings, which I will go say hi between. So don't worry about TT, and she'll be back soon, I promise. I love you. I love you. I love you. Happy birthday and good night.